This is a very specific message for a very specific collective. And I think whoever it's for will feel it immediately. Let's start with what's going on in your head right now. And I want to be gentle with this because I know it's a tender spot, but your mind is in a doubt spiral. You've been working on something, investing in something, pouring time, energy, resources, yourself into something that matters to you. And lately your mind has been doing this thing where it keeps asking, is it working? Is it enough? Should I have seen results by now? Am I doing this right? Am I wasting my time? There is an impatience that has crept in, not because you're ungrateful or short-sighted, but because you are someone who takes what you do seriously. You care deeply about outcomes. And when the timeline doesn't match the effort, your mind starts to question everything. But here's what I want you to hear. The problem is not the work. The problem is not the path. The problem is that you keep pulling the plant up by the roots to check if it's growing. And every time you do that, you interrupt the very process you're so desperate to see completed. The work is working. The seeds are in the ground. You just can't see it yet from where you're standing. That's not failure. That's the part that happens underground before everything changes. Now let's talk about what you're actually feeling. And this is where it gets really interesting, because emotionally, you are so much more certain than your mind is letting on. In your heart, you know exactly who you are. You know what you're building. You know what you're worth. There's a quiet, unshakable confidence that lives in your emotional body that your anxious thoughts keep trying to talk you out of. But it's there, solid, steady, like bedrock underneath all the noise. You feel capable. You feel like someone who has earned their place, who has done the inner work, who has the vision and the discipline and the patience to be something real. And that feeling is not ego. That is accurate self-assessment. That is you finally being honest about your own capacity. The disconnect is that your heart knows what your mind keeps forgetting. Your emotions are actually the most grounded thing about you right now, which is the opposite of what you might expect. The clarity isn't in the overthinking. The clarity is in what you feel when you get quiet enough to listen. Trust the steadiness underneath the spiral. That's the real signal. And now let's look at what you're actually doing right now. What's playing out in your external reality.